We're going to watch the board briefing that was changed from a board meeting now, and it's going to start very poorly. They're going to talk about their public records request transparency. Now, this audit that they've just done here really takes the cake. I mean, I've seen a lot of nonsense come out of this TriMet, but this this audit, I don't know how they can dare call it an audit. Because anyway, before we get into the nuts and bolts of this audit, let's listen to Mcfarlane's bullshit about it. Let's listen to what kind of crap he says here.
Records process review, and we have a Stolburn firm here with a couple folks, Scott Shore and Josh Ross. Good morning.
Good morning. So, Mr. Board President, I think just a very short introduction and a few words before I hand this over to General Counsel Janet Moran to introduce our panel. You know, there have been headlines about transparency, and frankly, what we wanted to do is really get to the bottom of this.
Did you hear that? He wants to get to the bottom of it, as if he doesn't, oh, what could be going on? I mean, let's get to the bottom of this. We better find somebody, because I don't have the slightest idea what's going on.
And asked for a very independent review by
a very independent review. A very independent review. You know, I got news for you. You can't have a very independent review when you're the one paying the people doing the reviewing. That's not an independent review. Okay? Right there.
The gentleman and the firm represented by Stolburn. And I wanted this report to come directly to the board, which is why you're hearing this directly. And I would also note that this has been of great interest to our general counsel and her staff.
Right, it's been a great interest to Janet Torrance. She didn't know what's going on. What's that all about? What do you mean? Our public records request system is not being, people are complaining about it? Janet Torrance, like, how would I have ever known that? I had no idea.
As well, since they generally administer the public records and discovery processes for the agency. So I'll turn it over to Janet with that.
Thank you. I just want to add that the firm that we selected, Stolburn, has significant experience with complex litigation.
Significant experience with complex litigation. I don't think that's what's needed here, Jana. We don't need significant experience with complex litigation. We need to know about your public records request. It doesn't seem all that complicated.
Particular plaintiffs litigation, and in fact they sued TriMet in a very large commercial suit many years ago, or a few years ago.
Okay, so these guys sued TriMet years ago and won something, apparently. How many years ago? What was the case? What was the award? You know, give us some facts. Don't just give us some generalizations.
It was that background in complex litigation coupled with their knowledge of government and government records is the reason why I selected Stolburn. And so today we have Scott Shore and Josh Ross presenting.
Okay, we're going to get into the nuts and bolts after that introduction, but the introduction was worth looking at itself, mainly because they all are scratching their heads like, what do you mean there's a problem with public records? What do you mean? Now, those of us that have experienced public records requests, you know, I've seen the report, and we're going to go through that, okay? But as you can see where we're headed here, right? It should be very obvious. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of this next.